Come with me on a little journey as we look back at 2024 and ahead to 2025 for Polymega. What's going on, everyone? It's Rich Haywood here for Bacon Ice Cream Productions and TMRTFC, welcoming you to yet another episode of Good Times with Retro Rich. Yes, that's right. It is time to celebrate and list the Good Times with Retro Rich top 5 for Polymega 2024. Something I've always wanted to do. I always wanted to get into let's just do like a list thing, or do a little celebration thing. And I've done some of these in the past. I kind of want to make this a thing for our pillars, for the things that we do most often. Now, some will come directly at the end. Yes, this is the 30th. There's another one I'm planning for tomorrow, and then there'll be others for all the pillars, right? Polymega, the Atari VCS, of course, the Evercade. We got a number of friends that do those things too, so we kind of let them get their thing. We'll get in there in the 2025s with our top 5 list for the Evercade, and then of course other random things. Like the top 5 coolest for the channel, I guess, or whatever. Like a look back, and I just want to kind of do those things. I think it's a nice, neat idea at the end of the year. Kind of look back and see what's going on, and I wanted to actually take a look back at actually the the whole saga that happened here on the channel too, because the that kind of collaborates with or coincides with each one of the things we're about to talk about. I think that's a pretty cool thing too. So let's check that out. So we're gonna go from 5 to 1, right? So let's go on this journey and do the top 5 things that Good Times with Retro Rich things happened for Polymega and Play Magi in 2024. Number 5. It's a little bit of a cheat, but it's still there. And that is Atari's collaboration being felt, and future modules maybe soon. Now, while this did not happen all in the year 2024, it is most certainly true that this announcement of the Play Magi, the Play Magi announcement with Atari, me being all happy. This is now 2 years ago in the July time frame of this announcement happening. Pretty crazy stuff. I was super excited going through the story and doing all that. It was just a really cool thing to see that Atari came basically to Play Magi's rescue. If I'm not, just kind of putting it out there, they 100% were responsible for a lot of the other things happening, including things that might be number 1 on this list. But the biggest thing was the fact that because of that infusion, because of that investment, the Play Magi was able to kind of just get footing under them. It's very clear now that is a thing that happened. Then they were able to collaborate with the teams over on they were able to collaborate with the teams at not only Play Magi, but the other Atari software teams. They were able to do some collaborations there in the background. They were able to collaborate on the modules that they're teasing. There's going to be an Atari module that's going to be coming out for Polymega in 2025, and I have no doubts that they're actually going to hit that date now, because all of the other things started lining up, and that's a very, very cool thing to have happened. And although it's, like I said, kind of a cheat because there's nothing really tangible, nothing really to grasp in this Atari collaboration just yet, all of the groundwork was laid, right? Without a good backbone, you're not going to have a good future. And the backbone certainly was placed in this relationship between those two. So that's why it remains in the number 5 slot. Number 4, the Polymega's community continues to rock. Yes, shout out to the Discord. Shout out to everything else. Everybody that comes over and checks out some Polymega videos, the Facebook groups, everybody, ups and downs, lefts and rights. Yeah, everybody's got some happies and some not happies about Polymega, and I 100% understand and 100%, it's okay. It is an okay thing to do and to have those ups and downs. But there are some things that happened because of the community, and I'm going to try to share this again, and hopefully it's actually going to work.
Viper.
So did it freeze? I don't think I can actually share and play at the same time.
Game.
I don't think it's a thing, but we can see here.
I'm
looking at 40 Winks and Rescue and Battle Squadron games that went away in the big thing, in the big pantheon.
40 Winks is on
in the packings for the Polymega.
Can I get it?
That was an issue. People didn't like the fact that there was an update that took them all away, and we didn't like that. Right? We didn't like that until we started playing, which is great.
Because I don't think this one is going to go anywhere. I don't think Viper.
What did we do?
It stays.
What did we do? Well, we said, hey, you know what? That's not
anyway
cool.
Later.
Like I really want to be able
because it's a game
play these games
that is on
and to check them out.
And we have not yet
because they were pack-ins.
So let's see if there's any differences between the Pico version.
The community was right. They absolutely had every right to be a little upset about that, right? And
I think they
should have been able to play their games that were taken away during the other updates, during the 1.1.30 and 3.1 updates. It was not great, right? But the community got together and said, "Hey, you know what? You need to do this. You need to figure this out." And Polymega, Play Magi could have just went, sorry, man. We tried and it didn't work. You don't get your games. And then everyone would have been still a little upset, and I'm sure everyone would have gotten over it and would have been a thing. But they went back to Pico to get these games back. They were able to create a deal. I think also because of the collaboration, the relationship that they had with Atari. I think some handshakes and smiles in the background maybe were able to make this happen. I really do. I really think that there might have been some influence there. But lo and behold, we were able to make a positive change as a community for the device that we owned, that we wanted to make sure that we got all of our cool stuff for. And they put them back, which is cool. That's very cool. I mean, the fact that Play Magi and Team Polymega look at what's happening on Discords and what's happening in between and inside, they're not insular. They're not like just completely ignoring things. They have obviously things that are happening that people want, and people are waiting for like light guns and all that kind of stuff. But they're still nimble enough to respond to some things and make changes where they can, and that should be applauded, which is the reason why it's number 4. Other things, and directly related to number 4, is number 3. The 1.1.32 update actually fixed stuff. Yeah, so sometimes there's an update comes through and it whacks some things, and that's not great, and they need to have some fixes, and boom, you get a fix, and it's pretty awesome, and people like that. So here it is. It's the 1.1.32 update we had just done. I ripped off the Band-Aid just a couple weeks ago on that update. We got it through. It installed, and all the games were working, and we were able to see things, and it was great. And so we got Brave Battle Saga back. Everything was cool. Now I know it's not perfect because there are some things that have happened with the Polymega updates on all of them that made it a little hinky. Even on mine, it was like a little freezy moments here and there that I didn't really notice before. But over time, hopefully even more updates can come in, smooth the experience out a little bit more for everybody. Get from a bad place to a good one here with some of these updates. And I hope that we can do that very soon, which is really cool. So that was a huge thing, because we were able to finally owners were able to finally get into their thing. We're able to play some stuff. But of course, the 1.1.32 update paved the way for something else that we were looking forward to, and that was the Polymega collections, which is something we didn't ever even know were going to be a thing. They were announced and released all in 2024. Now that is pretty cool. And again, we're celebrating the fact that PlayMagic can go, hey guys, we got this thing we're working on. Here is a thing. It is a physical product. We're going to put it in a box and we're going to ship it to you. We're going to announce it 2 months before it comes out, and you're going to have it in hand before the end of the year. And there's my hand with those two things in it. And they did it. Hey, there's some rough around the edges things about it. Yeah, we talked about that in not only this video, but the follow-up video where I actually played the games. Yeah, there's some rough around the edges things, but it's the same time, it must be recognized that a company like this they're kind of in a fragile state almost all the time, right? It's very easy for a company like this to just be like, yep, we did what we could, and there it is, and that's it, and peace out, right? Or for example, there's another pretty major retro company that puts out products on a pretty regular basis, and most of them are pretty cool. And then sometimes there are updates that need to happen for them to allow other features. And they'll put out an update, and then 2 years from now, they'll put out maybe another update, and then they'll vaporize. And they'll just be on to the next product. And if you own the other product and you need an update for it, maybe you get it, maybe you don't. Maybe you just buy the next product. So again, this company's been through a ridiculous amount of things and has all of the reasons to have gone really bad for everybody, including the fans. So they could have just went, hey, this is all too much. This is also crazy. You're not getting your stuff, goodbye. And then they become another one of those stories, right? Another one of those stories in the not great category where you've got a whole bunch of people really mad at you. And that's a thing. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen. And I think it's really cool. And again, should be celebrated here in 2024. That, hey, look, they not only are they trying to do the things to get the regular products out to the people that want them, but they're also trying to do the things to expand their brand a little, expand their I guess revenue opportunities from the fans that have their units, and then keep moving on. So they're not going to go away just yet. Who knows? Maybe they try a whole bunch of things and not a lot of people buy the things, and then they fail later on. I mean, whatever. That's business. That's what happens, right? It could be they could be like a Sega route. They could be a Nintendo route. They could be a Sony route. It doesn't matter. It's one of those things. Not to compare them to the big giant guys. This is still real small fish to stuff. This is niche products. Retro products are niche products, and we all know that, right? The Atari VCS is a niche product. The Polymegas are a niche product. Even the Evercade, to a certain extent, is a niche product. All of them are run differently. All of them have different positive ups and downs, and all of that kind of stuff. So, but like I said, for them to be able to do all the things that they're doing, we're trying to get the products out to you, the people that have done the pre-ordering and all the things, and then also be able to get additional products out and launch them within that same year. Very cool. Very cool. But like I said, some work to be done. I'm not going to say my notes in the video where I do the games, all right, where I'm talking about the impact of the Polymega collection when I put it in the Polymega. You have to watch a video to get my full impression. But oh man, they could. I really wish they could tweak that, and I hope they do. And then that'll be really an awesome thing. But that leads us to the number one thing that happened in the year of 2024. And I know technically it's right before the year 2024, but it doesn't matter because it wasn't until the 3rd of January in 2024, right at the beginning of the year, that this happened for me. That is, they actually shipped these things and are continuing to make more of them. Yes, 100%. This has got to be the most exciting thing to happen in the Polymega sphere at all. And that is that I have a picture of myself holding a Polymega in its box on January 3rd, 2024. I mean, that was it. That's it. I mean, as far as the Polymega goes, in this year, that was it. because the previous year was all news stories and promises and tweets and Facebook posts, and that was it. It wasn't real. The Polymega was not real to me. I know my buddy had one for a couple years, and there's some people that had the the original either Indiegogo or the Kickstarter or whatever it was. They all had theirs, and that was fun, and that was great, and some YouTubers had some, but it wasn't a real thing until I got mine, right? Because that meant that not only did I get mine, but a whole bunch of people that pre-ordered direct from Polymega also got theirs. And yes, I know we must have a moment of silence for all the WWD people. I think that's a crazy story. I think that's an awful situation for both Play Magi and the people that pre-ordered through that organization. They seem to be doing also awful things and still not delivering on that promise. But that's mess. It's a giant mess. But I will say this though, for those that pre-ordered directly through Play Magi, I have yet to find somebody that said something to the effect of, "Oh no, this is not a great thing," and that they should not have, put this out, or like the whatever, or like anything like that, or had pre-ordered direct from Play Magi and still have not received theirs. I don't think that there is one of those things. And the good news about the fact that this happened, right? That they produced some and they put it out, and everyone that pre-ordered got some. They made more, and then they sold out, and then they made more, and then they sold out again, and then they made more just recently, and they sold out again. So that means the interest in this device is at a enough of a high where people are willing to pay premium price. Now, I didn't pay $550 for mine. For my base unit, I didn't pay that. And if it was going to be just $550, I don't know if I would have had a Polymega. I would have, if it wasn't for the fact that they just held on to that pre-order. I don't know if I have one. But I did, and I'm glad I did. What a long time to wait for a thing. But they did it. They put it in a box, and they sent it to me, and it works. We upgraded it, and it works. And we put some more games on it, and it works. We went through the updates, and it works. And we went through the Polymega collections, then they work. It's cool. It's really awesome, and I'm glad to have this new pillar, and it became a pillar of the channel. Before it was just cool news stories we just hung out with every once in a while, and now it's going to be a core thing on the channel. We're going to be using Polymega for everything. We're going to be using Polymega for more cool videos where we mess around with doing the installs. We're going to get new modules. I actually got a new module for the holidays. We got the Super module, so we're going to be able to do Super Nintendo games on the Polymega, so that's going to be pretty cool. My lovely wife also pre-ordered the send-in light guns, so I'm in line with you guys on the light gun. So we'll wait and see what 2025 brings, and then hopefully it'll bring the light gun, and we'll have that, and we'll be able to unbox that, and that'll be a pretty cool thing to celebrate too. But yeah, again, I got to go back and say, for all the WWD customers, that's an awful thing. It's an awful thing, and I want somebody somewhere to figure it out. Get some lawyers involved, get some things involved. Because I know that it's a rug pull for everyone. It was a rug pull for Play Magi because they got burned on the order thing. It's a rug pull for the customer. And Play Magi isn't WWD, and they can't just force them to do whatever. And yeah, they can get into legal disputes, but that's on behalf of the customer. That's not necessarily what they would need to do legally. They're in different countries. There's different jurisdictions. It's just a giant mess that's on fire. So I understand that. And I want to make sure that everyone that is affected by that knows that I hope that there's a resolution. And if there is, and if there has been a resolution, let me know in the comments. They're like, hey, they finally figured it out, and we're going to get our stuff, and great. Because that would be really cool. Because I want you guys to get this stuff, that everyone that's waiting. Or you get your refund, and then you go order direct from Play Magi, as soon as they have new bundle orders to order for some more base units, because they got to make some more. And then jump on in, because it's awesome here. And we're having fun. And again, I look forward to all of those things, and look forward to next year, saying like, hey, you know what, 2024 was really kind of like the first step. Did they start running, or is this a slow walk, or is this a jog, or did they start going backwards? I don't know. I don't know what the future has to hold with this thing, but it's such a fun ride. right now, just going through everything and just messing around, because it really is a cool device. It's a neat thing. Yeah, I mean, it's not for everyone. There's some people out there that make videos making fun of it and my face and all that stuff. Sure, it's fine. But you know what? I think it's cool. I think it's a cool thing, and I appreciate everyone that is in the Polymega community, or even tangentially related to the Polymega community, that likes watching these videos and celebrating that stuff. So, what a fun ride 2024 was, and what a awesome outlook that that 2025 has for where we have to go. So we hopefully will see the Atari module, the EMO7, coming out with some cool things. Who knows what it's going to be, but we'll be here talking about it. Let's see those send-in light guns go in, and then me go crazy to just try to find some Saturn and PS1 light gun games to install and play around with. That'll be really cool. Let's see some wild stuff come out, right? Some like crazy stuff, like another module gets announced, and then if you play all those games, or Polymega collections come out with all sorts of wild stuff you never thought that the Polymega would be able to play. Any of those things would be fine and dandy for me. I think it would be really awesome. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments. Let's get down in the comments. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk a little bit about this whole Polymega thing. And what do you think about the top 5 moments or top 5 lists for Good Times with Retro Rich? Are they the same as yours? Do you have others? Do you have different ones? Agree, disagree, doesn't matter. Get in the comments. Let me know what's going on, and we'll talk about it. Tomorrow's video is going to be pretty much similar. I think we're going to do the Atari VCS stuff. I'm going to have a look at the top 5 of 2024 Atari VCS things. Or maybe just Atari related, because there wasn't a lot for the V itself. But instead, maybe we'll celebrate like all the successes Atari is doing, and may then directly relate to the VCS in some way. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that list goes. Suggestions down below too, if you want. All right, so we're at the end of a video here at Bacon Ice Cream Productions. We got to do one thing and one thing only. You know what it is. It is we have to thank the members of the Good Times Club. So let's do that right now. Let's thank the EverCanadian, Crimson Cross, George Games, Chris Westerman, Fanafiction, Lloyd R. Gem, Papa Pete, the Intellivision Gamer, Ken LaCure, Mr. Shua, John Willig, Gunsy20, Herb Wars, Immortal Sojourn, DF, Joe Whitlash, and David Valdez. Thank you guys all so much for being members, for hanging out with us, for giving us 1080p StreamYard glory, not only here, but on the Evercade Effect and the Evercast, and of course, calling all retro gamers. We love all that kind of stuff. Thanks, guys, for kind of putting up with the weird studio things and the weird things. I'm going to try to see if we can, I don't know, maybe I'll make like a PDF presentation or something like that, or like a, I don't know, like a, whatever, some kind of thing to talk about the Atari stuff tomorrow, because the even Studio B is giving me some grief right now. But anyway, we'll figure it all out. We'll have some fun. We'll talk games, which is what we do here. And of course, until next time, we will catch you next time for some good times. I think that's what I say. I'm Rich, and we will see you later. Take it easy, guys. Man, it was a long day today. See ya.
rtfc.baconicecream.com.